Thank you all for joining for the Mamela webinar. I just wanted to go over some of the latest features, some of the updates. Gotten a lot of good feedback from people using it, and tried to put that to use and implemented a number of features. So I wanted to review that today. As you guys know, Mamela is email communication tool that basically turns your regular mailbox into a team mailbox, allowing multiple people in your team or your organization to respond to messages, whether it's messages from your customers, questions, the email conversation getting stuck in one person's mailbox who responds to, let's say, an email group. You can actually give multiple people access to those emails through Mamela in a secure way. We've actually processed over 1 million emails in 2020 from people using Mamela. We have a number of customers who are paying for various upgraded plans. As you guys know, the basic plan is still free for one mailbox. As far as our integration with Sellercloud, we have a tight integration so that if an email comes in from a customer, whether it's a Shopify customer or an Amazon customer, we'll actually show you from within Mamela snapshot of the related order information. Similarly, we're able to link those conversations to the actual orders within Sellercloud. So it's a two-way integration over there. As far as one of the new features we added based on feedback was to actually catch cancellations. A lot of the marketplaces, whether it's Amazon, Walmart, they send cancellation requests for third-party transactions by email. Now, from a customer standpoint, the person who's actually buying the product online, it's actually quite frustrating because if someone goes on Amazon, they cancel an order after let's say after 45 minutes, that order has already been released to the third-party seller. And the only way they can cancel that order is actually by sending a message or a cancellation request to the third-party seller. Now, historically, Amazon expects those third-party sellers to respond within 24 hours, but what ultimately that means is very often people are waiting till the next day to get a response. From the buyer perspective, he just wants to cancel that order. Maybe he wants to buy something from someone else, and now he's stuck. He has to wait for that cancellation request. Now, not only is it bad for the buyer, it's also bad for the merchant himself, because very often the way things go in a warehouse, those orders end up getting shipped out before they even have a chance to read those emails. In some cases, the process, people get to the warehouse early, sometimes it's 6, 7 in the morning, they're already picking those orders off the shelf. And by the time that someone reads that email request, it's already too late. And what that means is it's a very costly problem where, they ship the order, the customer doesn't want it, so they're just going to return it. So you have shipping going both ways. And what we've done is we've actually been able to intercept those messages. And with our integration with Sellercloud, we're actually able to put those orders on hold. And with one customer in fourth quarter, we actually saved them over $4,000 using this single feature of Mamela with Sellercloud, catching over 330 orders that were where there's a cancellation request. And we were able to actually stop those orders from being shipped out to the customer. And we estimate saved around $4,000 on the potential shipping costs. Also saved a lot of frustration from the customers. So this works currently for Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. And definitely everyone should take advantage of this. This shows you sort of how it comes in as an email. And this example, ultimately, it gets recognized by Sellercloud, changes the status of the order, and it's as simple as that. Now, with Sellercloud, if you use XQStack to manage your warehouse, not only do we want to stop an order that's not shipped yet, but we also want to stop it based on whether it was picked or not. So Sellercloud, if you're using SKU-Stack, Sellercloud knows every time an order is picked off the shelf. So there is an option to consider the picking status, whether or not to put the order on hold or not. Similarly, we did something with RMAs. If someone wants to return something on Amazon, very often they'll give a reason. Often that reason is really isolated to the email communication. And even though in Sellercloud, we automatically create RMAs every time someone wants to return something, we create those RMAs, but that reason is not sent over in the RMA information. So what we did is since that's exclusive to email communication, we used Mamela to pull that information, and we actually update the RMA with that return reason, which is very important to centralize all the RMA return information in one place. And using these tools together, using Mamela with Sellercloud, we're able to accomplish this. So definitely another thing to take advantage of with the Mamela Sellercloud integration. Initially, when I first released Mamela, I thought that most people were going to be using it through their native email app, whether it was through their iPhone email or Gmail. But basically, what we did is we realized people wanted to actually use our user interface to manage the messages as well. So we did some major upgrades so that you could navigate from message to message without actually having to refresh the screen. You see over here, it's also mobile friendly. So that's something to be aware of. What we noticed was people wanted to be able to assign messages to people and various things. You could still use it, from the mobile device, but this is also a viable option, especially when it comes to, if people are moving off of something like Help Scout or the like, they might be used to using a specialized UI. So this is a new alternative for that. As far as opening and closing, you can see over here, you could just click the button, immediately responds, very fluid type of thing, and it, no page refresh. So if you update the status of a thread, you can actually see it back on the original page immediately. So that's very smooth. We've also added some security to Mamela. We've gone through various audits, for Google Apps, and one of the new requirements for Google Apps is two-factor authentication. So we've added that to the user interface as well. So something to be aware of. And we've also been able to add Mamela to the App Store, both on iOS and Google Play. And also should make it easier to use for those people accessing it on a mobile device. Well, we've also added the ability to create your own Mamela email account, as opposed to just linking your existing account with your own domain name. We had a number of clients who wanted us to actually create the email account for them, and makes the setup process a little bit simpler, and you can use those accounts to connect directly to your Amazon account. So, it would be your team name at mamela.com. So that's an additional option that you guys have now in the setup process. Well, that's all I wanted to let you guys know. At the moment, we always have new things coming up, but definitely appreciate everyone's feedback, and appreciate that people are benefiting from it, and keep the feedback coming, and we'll keep on releasing new features. All the best. Thank you.